Welcome back. You're watching Markets at Noon on ET Now. The BMC claims that there is no more shortage of COVID beds in the city. And this is interestingly coming in just a couple of days after Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, Chief Minister of Delhi, has cited worries with respect to the same. So they are claiming that more than 2,000 beds in the city are now vacant and that the BMC has added 10,000 beds in the city with only 7,400 being occupied. I think it comes as a big relief given the fact that Mumbai is, one of the epicenters, if you could call it that, of India in terms of the number of COVID patients. But let's understand the overall scenario in India in terms of the number of beds. Yes, maybe things are better in Mumbai, but what about the rest of the country? Bring on board Shalby Hospitals to talk about this. Shanay Vikram Shah, the president of Shalby Hospitals, joins us now on the show. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Tell us, what's the situation like? Because, while BMC is saying, look, in Mumbai, things look okay. But at the same time, we have Mr. Arvind Kejriwal citing deep worries with respect to the shortage of beds. So what's the situation looking like?
So I can speak about, the locations where we have our presence. What we have seen is that in Indore, the things are particularly a lot better than what they were probably a month back. And so what has happened is from the authorities, we have been given a letter today that, you can resume your non-COVID, responsibilities. And now Shalby Indore is open for all the other specialities, in MP. So basically, if I talk about the presence where we are, currently present. So in Rajasthan, Punjab, MP, all these places, we are not told by the authorities and, things are under control. Ahmedabad, yes, the cases are going up and we have converted one additional facility out of the 4 facilities that we run in Ahmedabad for COVID treatment. What we have also launched additionally is basically a new home care program where the patients do not need to come to the hospital unless the cases are severe. So what we do is we are remotely monitoring the patients and basically we are trying to help them in their own homes by sending our representatives to the hospital. So it's like a 2-week package and essentially, we have seen a good kind of turnout for that package as well.
So basically, most of the COVID patients mercifully are at least trying home treatment and Shalby as well is sort of assisting them. So do you think then that if such a model is followed, then perhaps, the entire bed shortage problem will not occur in India?
Yeah, we don't believe that, the bed shortage problem will occur really. Even we have been hearing about Karnataka where the government probably added about 1 lakh beds over the last, 2 months to, kind of make sure that, they are not short of beds, but barely 20% have been used. So, yes, there are few containment zones where the situation could be bad, but I think, most of the places in India are quite safe and as such, we won't be facing a shortage of beds.
Right. Sir, I just wanted to understand one thing that, what are the challenges that hospitals are facing? How are they dealing with this? You have one side, you have COVID patients. On the other side, doctors are not coming. Other side, people are, getting scared to come to hospitals that they might get COVID, labor issues. How are you facing facing up with all these challenges in the time when you have extreme high volumes?
No, you're right. So, there are challenges, obviously, because, once the staff catches COVID, then, you have to replace that with, staff, and all of that. So that becomes slightly tricky. What you also mentioned is another big problem because, we do have a lot of casualties coming to hospital, and they are too late to bring these casualties and, then treatment cannot be done. And they are actually brought dead into the hospital. So I think people are worrying too much about COVID. And because of that, they are not availing their other treatments that they require on time. So, that's another issue. And essentially, I think now, people have realized and people are kind of open to coming down. So, what we've been seeing in the last 2 weeks is, that the scenario is a lot better. People are freely coming to hospitals and getting their treatments.
And what are your regular patients and clients talking about? People who have dialysis, people who have sugar, who need to time and again visit your facilities. Have they started to come? Have things been better in June versus earlier?
In fact, in lockdown 3, from 17th May onwards, we have seen, patients coming freely. Prior to that, yes, people were a little bit in a frame of mind that they don't want to get out, of their houses and all of that. But now things seem to be better. There are 3 additional things, which are going on at Shelby, which we are trying to do. I mean, of course, one is the fact that, we are trying to basically entertain arthroplasty doctors who are not, we've been doing arthroplasty work in Shelby, but the doctors who are not associated with us, currently we are trying to bring them on board as well to do those work. But of course, elective work is slow at this point of time. But I think the way things are opening up, we do believe that, by end of this month, I think, we will have a very, very big progress.
All right. Okay, great.